What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. All right. Hey, welcome back to the Costas Verdes live show. We're going to cover Bitcoin. Finally got a move. 4.5% move. After 20 something days of silence. There are some bigger economic, it's not technically economic events, but this week, you watch out for Thursday. Jerome Powell's going to speak 9 hours, so 10 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour on Thursday, the September 8th, and that's New York time. And then another Fed person speaks on Friday. I don't think it's going to be, setting rates or anything like that, but it's going to be an excuse for the markets to move in both directions very volatilely. So not monodirectional, up, down, land in the middle, and then maybe continuation on Friday. Just remember, if you're trying to piss around in the charts with clicking around with money on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon in Europe, or Thursday night in Australia, or Indonesia, then that it's gonna get a little hot for a couple hours there, and then it could happen right again on Friday. Keep that in mind. Stay safe. Today, I think Bitcoin's gonna end up chilling out until market open tomorrow. I think most of the move has happened, but Bitcoin's spot price got this close to filling a gap at 18,150 or so. And there was a $750 difference between Bitcoin CMEs, which were trying to fill the gap, but spot didn't want to go down that far. So it kind of the disparity kind of snapped it back up and did not allow the CMEs to fill it. So that's going to be interesting. That I interpret that as downside pressure. I don't expect a strong bounce this week at all outside of whale games on Thursday when Jerome Powell's speaking. There's going to be bi-directional volatility almost as always as he speaks, but outside of Thursday morning, September 8th, New York time around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., I think the pressure is pretty down. We have Bitcoin finally falling below an origin line, using it as rejection and making lower local lows. So let's go dive in and see what that looks like. The targets down below are about 14,500 to 15,300, depending on when it gets there, because but it needs to hit the next origin line down. The deal is sealed, as in extremely high probabilities. We're going to dive into that first, and then we'll chug along with the live chat. Let's go. Might help to have the Bitcoin chart up here behind me. Okay, let's get this. Check out what's going on here. And again, I have the live chart available so you can watch candles bounce on my levels. I'm missing a channel line because I know it hit my channel line exactly. There we go. Yeah, it's at the channel line right now. All right, here we go. So I have this live chart running for Discord and VIP. So if you want to be able to not check Bitcoin price on CoinMarketCap and you want to know what the hell is it doing, let me look at the charts so you don't have to, essentially. But it's a private link only for the Discord. Both tiers for that. Links to that are to the Discord community in the description section. And then Twitter is at Costas Verdes with the number 2. I don't post the private link there because that wouldn't be private, but it's also for the Cryptillion YouTube tier. It's YouTube tier for Cryptillion is similar to the Cryptillion Discord tier without the live interaction with your microphone and camera. But you do get recordings of what we do over there. Plus you get to see the live chart move 7 days a week or whenever I'm available to make it happen. All right, so let's take a look at what Bitcoin's doing here. So these vertical lines that you see here are when volatility, I expect it to increase to some degree. Doesn't matter which direction, just something to move, right? So I have that mapped out. That's what these vertical lines right here are, all right? This black triangle, if I zoom out, is made by the top. Let me zoom out even more so we can tell what we're looking at. Is made from the top of this trading channel, which Bitcoin entered a month ago. See how it says 27 days where my cursor's hovering? If you could see that, it says 27 days. So it left, let me get rid of all this stuff. It left the channel And again, if you want to know how to, make stuff flicker on and off, you need to watch the, just go to my playlist that says Learn Trading Basics, and it's how to set up your chart. And it's tagged. It shows you them, like how to do that. And it's one of the tags at the end. But anyway, it left the trading channel, very common. It did not do it aggressively. It did wick up to hit the daily 10 twice, both, here, I'll just throw on the daily 10 so you can see it. Boom. Right here, hit the daily 10, right here, hit the daily 10, and went back into the trading channel. But what's even more prominent than that is, well, which chart do I have this on? Where are my origin lines not showing up where I want them? Oh, no, yeah, so it was actually way back here. I'm sorry. I was getting lost in the charts for a minute. So origin line wise, this is what I wanted to talk about from a mid macro. So this is a midterm time frame, what I'm about to say. It doesn't mean it's going to happen next hour or tomorrow. What I'm about ready to show you on here is month of September. Okay? And yeah, so it's month of September. In general terms, midterm time frame, so daily chart and all that, Bitcoin went below an origin line, which I guess I can make it a different color here so we can see them better. That didn't help very much. All right, that's good enough. Went below this blue line, used it as resistance, 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 resistance. And once you take out, lows here, or just make a lower lows and lower highs after using resistance, honestly, it's after it took out this low is when it seals the deal, which that's when it accelerates to the downside. So once it took out those lows after using this origin line as resistance, it seals the deal that this line will be hit, period. And I'm telling you, that's just how price moves. Not tomorrow, not in the next hour, maybe not even this week. It could be this week, but this is the month of September, right? So, yeah. Because I want to remind you that before I put a pin in it and show you the price. But it really does seal the deal that where is my price? There we go. That these levels are going to be hit. So depending on when it gets there, let's say it gets there at a couple different points. So this is an ascending line. See the number getting higher? All right, so let's say it moseys down there at a similar angle as it's maybe somewhere like that. So it keeps the same general trajectory. 14.6, and that'd be late September. That'd be late September. So again, midterm time frame. But if we do get some wild actually fairly expected acceleration to the downside in September, it's going to get there faster, and it's going to hit the low 14,000s. It's going to. So in the month of September, depending on how fast it gets there, let's say 14,000 even to 14,000, what would be the last day of September, or to 14,600 or so. About a $500 to $600 range. And again, the deal is essentially sealed. What could create a little difference in this? There is one pattern that could play out, but it doesn't mean the seal is not deal that this line's going to be hit. It just means it'll be hit later, and the low that it forms could be significantly higher. And I want to show you that right now. So a lot of times when enough money, so money as in people, right, groups of interested buyers or sellers, when they all are seeing something that often can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm talking about a double low down here, a double bottom. That's the word on the street. And so since it is the word on the street, just realize a lot of people are looking at that, and you do want to trade on the side of big money, right? So the question is, since retail is all looking at this, Twitterverse, all that stuff is looking at this level. Here, let me put a pin in it so you can see what this level is. This is retail zone, but the question is, here we go. So the question here is, that's going to form liquidity, right? Because there are going to be orders down there. The question is, will whales smoke them? Will it come up shy and then go bounce? Or will there be enough power here from retail to create a self-fulfilling prophecy where whales just say, okay, just let's trade with them? There really are three things that could happen. That retail gets it right is an option. But just realize this level, this double bottom, is not a thesis, but it's a very prevalent idea for the month of September, and it's very retail driven. And if the retail folks get it right, or one of the other options where whales bring it really close to this level before a strong bounce, right? So in those two situations, that would greatly delay price coming down to this next origin line, and then it would hit closer to this, in the 15,000s instead of the 14,000s. So let me show you what that would look like. But a lot of people are focused on the 17.6 to 17.9 area right here, okay? So one thing that could happen is, if big money, how they want to play this is, hey, let's come up shy. So their algos are going to see liquidity down here, right? As price approaches. And what big money might do is say, okay, we could see all these orders down here. We could see it. Let's stop it right here. And then run it all the way up. This is as high as I can see it going. Like the absolute highest I could see price going in September. Honestly, it's honestly unreachable at this point. But let's say 5% chance, but still the highest. So anything higher than this is like less than 1% chance, but it just races up in September. So this is September. So this line right here is September 30th. And guess what? How high that is. So just take a guess without looking at the right side of the screen. Structurally, it's probably lower than what you think. Oh no, that is high. No, that's higher than. It was a lot higher than what I thought. I thought it was going to be 21,000. It's a lot higher. No wonder I didn't think that could happen. I am looking at the wrong damn thing. That's not going to happen. That would create some massive stuff. That's too much. That's not going to happen in September. Let me look at a different chart here. That is clearly not going to happen. Let's see here. Live chart. I haven't been lost inside of a chart in a while, but I definitely just got lost in the chart. Channel. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for right here. Or maybe it's different. Give me a second here. Fumbling around in my charts today. Sorry. Farting around. No, it was this. I could have sworn I had a clear target of potentially 21K on one of my charts that would make sense for this double bottom bounce, but I can't identify what the hell. I was just doing it during my VIP call today, and it made absolutely perfect sense. What was I looking at? Let me find it real fast. Let's see, 21,000 right here. I wonder what it was I was looking at. Damn it. Well, that's part of being live. I can't find it. The highest I could see it going in September is $21,000. And I'll do a follow-up. I'll either do Twitter or a YouTube post once I find out what the hell I was just looking at for 21,000 and why that would make sense, specifically off of the double bottom theory. So whales could come up shy and not get their orders, or they could allow retail to get their orders filled in a self-fulfilling prophecy bounce. I don't see it going higher than $21,000 before then. The deal is sealed, that this origin line right behind me needs to be hit. But if that were to happen, $21,000, that would delay Bitcoin coming down to this blue origin line right here, and it would be closer to the $15,000 mark. Right by October, it would be early October. It hits about $15,000. And so if Bitcoin were to go up first, it would probably take its time getting down there, and the target would be drastically different. So very, very short-term time frame stuff. Let's jump into that real fast. I'm going to put it on the 15-minute chart. I will throw on what I had on my live chart here today. Let's see here. So this is the stuff I have going. I had to guide folks watching my live chart. What I think can happen in the very, very short term. No, it's this origin line here. That's why I couldn't find it. It's not on my freaking chart. You see that? I have it labeled. That's why. That's what it was. It's right freaking here. Where'd it go? Where did my origin line go? Okay, I knew I wasn't going crazy. So I'm missing an origin. Okay, it freaking deleted it. I must have deleted it. Okay. Are my origin lines locked? No, they're not. So I deleted it. That's where it went. Okay, so I wasn't that confused. Well, I was confused, but I had a good reason to be confused. Here it is. Bam. All right, there's my origin line. That's why. Okay, so in September, I don't think Bitcoin could get much over. So later on in the month, right? So this only goes till September 7th because I'm really zoomed in. But later on the time axis, this same origin line, late in the month, it goes up to 21K, which is why I don't think Bitcoin. I mean, I think it's single digits chances it gets above 21K in September. But if it were to zoom up there and then the deal is sealed at the lower origin line is hit, it would be closer to 15K. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I didn't have my my origin lines locked, and I clearly deleted it. So that's why I was skipping an origin line, which went up to 28K. I was like, man, I know I just saw it, I know it, but it's right here. But short-term price action here. So concentrate on the daily. See how this arrow, this vertical line here is labeled? Okay, focus on that. Sometime either just before or just after this line, that's 8 p.m. New York, I think this line's going to be hit. Period. I think it's extremely, extremely high probability. All right. So actually, I will just make a black, little thing here. Let's see here. Boom. So all the way to September. So that's the same day, September 7th at. Yeah, that's 6 a.m. That actually makes sense. So I bet this is hit right there. But after that, though, I could easily see Bitcoin getting back up close to where it is now to the top of this channel. And I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you why this makes sense. Or back in this black zone for a failure pattern above, or a large failure pattern to get ready for JPOW to speak up here. 3 options, all right, is what I'm seeing short term. I think I see it coming down here first off. I'm kind of betting on that because it actually looks like it's getting ready to happen potentially during this live stream. But when after that happens, let me zoom out and show you what I'm staring at here. You see how it went sideways? Yeah, there's the damn origin line. So it wicked up exactly to the origin line, right? And failure pattern above the daily 10. I gave a Discord alert for that 28 hours before it happened, warning, hey, I think it has to fall quickly unless it does a move like this, which bought it more time for market open. So essentially I created an alert there because it had to fall unless it did that. And it wouldn't have been Bitcoin would not have been able to wait for market open on Tuesday. So that's essentially the whale perspective. Like, I don't know how I got that feeling. I just knew Bitcoin could not hold this unless it tagged this first in order to then stay level until market open. Anyway, but you see how it went sideways, got rejected by the origin line, and has fallen back in this channel, right? So this is what I could see happening. Now that we could see this whole channel on the 1 hour chart, I could see price coming down to the levels I just had labeled. It's like 18.5 or 18.7. And then tomorrow, and short-term price action, like through the night, I can see it coming down. Option A, getting rejected, and then just kind of, I actually don't know what happened after that, but potentially more down, but hang out sideways. So it just in general gets trapped under, and I'll make that price path red. So these are your very short-term price action, what I think is going to happen overnight and into tomorrow. And all three of them are hitting this area or lower. And then you could do a failure pattern. I'll make that one yellow. Or you could potentially, the most the most I could see this happening is to get, it could get back. That's not what I wanted. It has a chance to get back into this black triangle for a big failure pattern. And so if it were to do that, the range on, and that would be leading into tomorrow. But I could see this happening because it's not too high. So see, it's only about 20,276. I could see that potentially happening because it could be big money might want to create a setup like a set for the spike in volleyball. They might want to set it and kind of wiggle it up there into Wednesday, so it's a better setup for the volatility play on Thursday when Jerome Powell speaks. This, without Jerome Powell speaking, I would call this off the table. But I think that might be the area where they want to play with and then drive it down on Friday. But I don't think that's the most probable case, but watch out for it, especially if you're short. That might be the area that might be where they want the middle ground. And it all depends on how their algos are reading the order books in areas of liquidity. But that might be their playground up here, right? For Thursday. They need a playground. They probably already know where their playground is mathematically. But that might be it. All I'm trying to do is guess, so you're ready from tonight into tomorrow what the setup is going to be for Thursday, because it's all going into Thursday, right? What's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. And so the third option, short-term price action tonight and then tomorrow, I still think it's going to hit this damn. It could go lower, right? So when I say this box, it's this box or maybe even the next one down. I'll label that here in a minute, but I would say this box. I could see it coming all the way up tomorrow, doing something like this. And then into Thursday, then it spikes up, goes down, meets in the middle, and then sells off Friday. Something like that. I could see this price path happening as well. But it's going to be apparent, it's going to become fairly obvious where their playground is tomorrow, especially at market close, at the end of the day tomorrow. Market close for traditional finance around 4:30 p.m. New York time on Wednesday, the 7th. So by tomorrow, we're going to know where their playground is, their base level. And these are the three options that I could see happening. They're pretty different. I mean, this one's pretty different, right? That's like an 8%. Yeah, that's about 7% up. It could easily happen. But I think that's my third favorite scenario out of, and all of these, you could easily just incorporate a potential move down this far as well. So I'm going to bake $18,000 roughly into this analysis, right? Each of these could either stop at 18.5 or 18,000 for that wick down before then potentially doing the failure pattern above the top of the trading channel, the yellow or the red. I could see this being hit first. So let me bake in a $500 range there for the lows. However, if I had to make a specific guess, for red and yellow, I would guess that they bounce. Let me zoom in now to like the 5-minute chart. I would guess it bounces around here tonight, Tuesday night, around 18.5, within $100 of that. Second favorite down here. That's possible, but I think it's less likely. And I hope that guides you for, how, so I'm not making a specific, red and yellow are pretty specific guesses, but just realize I'm trying to help you stay aware of how you can get burned if you're short. Right? I'm including those to try to you need to consider it. You really could get burned badly. Because Jerome Powell is speaking on Thursday. And you could get burned before that happens. before that happens. All right. However, I think red and yellow most likely, but stay aware of green so you don't get in trouble. Because I know some of you who aren't a part of Discord VIP are, taking what I'm seeing on YouTube and trying to trade with it. So you need to have fear for the market. Don't get confident with this yet. This is a Fed speaking on camera week. Confidence is one thing you shouldn't have. You should have more fear than confidence is how I want to end this Bitcoin portion. Hopefully that's helpful, and I hope it keeps you safe during this week. All right, now let's take a quick look. Damn, I spent a whole fucking 30 minutes on that. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum here. I'm not trading Ethereum very much right now. I do have some orders in on BitGet, but for it, I'm playing some small positions. I should probably close a couple. Oh, damn, that one's doing pretty well. What is that? Oh yeah, I am. So F's my best freaking position right now. Oh, you can't see it. Boom. Yeah, I'm not supposed to show live trades, but I'm not entering them. Yeah, I'm just playing around with high leverage trades for now, but okay, so check it out. Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. I mean, take a look at this. Let me do my Harry Potter cloak. All right. If Bitcoin does have even a baby bull trap, so which means a fake out to the upside before it goes down, if that were to happen, you need to realize that if you're short in this market and a baby bull trap, just a tiny one on Bitcoin happens to swipe some liquidity up high on Bitcoin before it goes down, Ethereum has the ability. So if Bitcoin were to do a 3% move up just for like a fake out move, Ethereum has permission to do a 9%. It could easily triple it because it's racing up versus Bitcoin. So any move down on Bitcoin in general terms, if Bitcoin goes down 4%, Ethereum should go down like 3.7%. But to the upside, if Bitcoin goes up 3%, that's when Ethereum's going to make most of its gains. So when Bitcoin dominance goes up the hardest, that's when all of crypto is falling, including Bitcoin, right? The times that Bitcoin dominance flies up, it's mostly because Bitcoin and the whole crypto market tanks. But when Bitcoin goes down 10%, Matic will go down 30 and Atom will go down 25. So therefore, the dominance of Bitcoin rises. But the way Ethereum mostly is gaining on Bitcoin is through upside moves, right? So every downside move Bitcoin has, Ethereum will roughly match it. But the upside, Ethereum will outpace it. As this chart is as this is happening. Until this chart changes, that's the way it's going to be, right? So be very careful with Ethereum until the merge happens, and then this should get a little bit easier to trade. But be careful with Ethereum if you're trying to be short. Any baby bull trap on Bitcoin, you could get smoked real bad on it. And because so many other layer ones and layer twos that ride on Ethereum, they're trading with Ethereum, just realize until the merge happens, you can get, and even though you're supposed to have a bearish bias in a bear market right now, especially after a nice 4.5% move down on Bitcoin on Tuesday the 6th, September 6th, just realize any move up on Bitcoin, 2%, 3%, you can get totally smoked on leverage with things that trade with Ethereum. Please be safe. All right, so let's dive into the short-term time frame Ethereum price action. For the midterm, just remember, for Bitcoin portion of this video, so if you, for the folks watching the recording of this, you need to watch my Bitcoin video from today because I fumbled through it. I apologize, but I just showed why the deal is sealed on Bitcoin hitting 14.5 to 15K over the month of September. It's like, it's sealed. It's just not delivered. It is signed, it is sealed, it's getting ready to be delivered. And I go over that. And so I'm not going to do the midterm timeframes and all the reasons why on Ethereum, but I'll give you some midterm timeframe, not price paths, but levels. But I'm going to more focus on the short-term timeframe to get you through this week because Jerome Powell will be speaking. And the volatility goes both ways. So if Bitcoin goes both ways on Bitcoin's up move of potentially 4%, 5%, Ethereum could do 10 to 12. So I want to show you how to be careful with this. I'm going to show you the range of reason of what could happen Thursday and Friday, particularly Thursday, September 8th. It could be real wild for Ethereum. All right. I typically prefer trading Ethereum over everything, but not with this merge stuff happening. All right, so I'm going to go to Ethereum chart versus the US dollar. And again, for new viewers, these are my origin lines, all these blue lines. And again, you're only going to find this on my channel, right? It's essentially, it shows you like a kid's coloring book where how the color of candles can go between the lines, but it doesn't tell you exactly which one will be hit first or the path, the path to this line. It doesn't tell you the path. It just shows you once it gets there, that's when it can bounce type of deal, right? That's what the origin lines are from a macro and midterm timeframe standpoint over the weeks. All right. I'm taking 2 origin lines and essentially making a trading channel for now. It's a pretty loose trading channel, but this is one blue origin line and the yellow one. I turned it yellow because that's what's in play right now. But there are 2 middle zones that I created parallel lines for. So all I did was I drew over the origin line and brought it back, to where it made sense on a low time frame. And I think I used something like the 15-minute chart to probably the hour chart to dial into that. All right. So just realize that these horizontals on Ethereum, that's not really what's going to get price. All right. So if you zoom way in here, a lot of people will be thinking, oh, if it goes below this horizontal, then it's going to, break down. I think it'll break down earlier than that. If Ethereum, it can't stay above this ascending line, it might do a baby bounce only to get rejected by this, but this is not the level. The seal the deal down to this level here is this line. Am I making sense with what I'm saying? So in terms of falling off a cliff, it's not, I use horizontals a lot too, but the way Ethereum's trading, it's not a horizontal. It's an ascending, like it's just a trading channel that's horizontal, but it's tilted, right? And I want to make sure my sound check is on, make sure nobody is saying, hey, I can't hear you. Okay, we're good. I should have checked this a while ago. All right. So what I could see happening on Ethereum is you probably need ascending lines. Like I really think so. And you can go ahead, and I'm on the 1 hour chart. This goes back to, let's say July 15th is here at this line. Let me make it a little thicker. If you want to try setting this up on your chart and you like Ethereum, I'm telling you. So July 15th to current price, that's July 15th. Try to, and you don't have to have origin lines, but just try to set it up similarly, right? And let me get rid of this horizontal, because I don't think it's going to matter. The cliff is ascending. All right. So pause the video, do whatever you want, whether you're watching or if you're watching the recording, pause the video, try to emulate this on the 1 hour chart. And again, this goes back July 15th. All right. Now, the way to play Ethereum in the short-term time frame is, once it goes below this ascending trend line, you're going to have a lot of people looking at this range from this wick up to this box. So a lot of people are going to buy here. But what I think will happen, it has a strong chance of happening, is they won't these people trading this horizontal won't realize the cliff was actually here. So they'll buy it up, and the bigger money that brought it to the below this line to this line, they will sell into the retail rally. It's going to do probably a failure pattern above that line, and then it's going to come down. That is what I see for Ethereum. Let me make sure I'm getting the timing right on this. So this would be tomorrow night. That is too long. So it's that could have been about right, but let's do it overnight. So boom, 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 leading into tomorrow. Wednesday. So this is Wednesday night. Actually, I could see it getting a little faster. I might have to. Oh, I'm on the 1 hour chart. That's why I need to be on the 15. Here we go. All right. So September 7th at midnight is here. Wednesday at market open is here. Okay. So in the meantime, I think that this bounce, what's going to happen here is Ethereum might come all the way down to this level, which I'll put a price tag on it. And then this line right here is market open. I think that's when you're going to probably see a failure pattern above this, and then maybe come back down like that. That's what I'm looking out for Ethereum. But this could be avoided If it doesn't go below that ascending line, if it stays above, that's not what's going to happen. So this is the case if Ethereum goes below, and let me put an exact price tag. So for today, to get you through like to Thursday, if it goes below 1562, it's coming, straight down to 1535. But there's going to be a lot of retail interest there, short-term time frame traders. They could create a failure pattern all the way back up to 1578 for Wednesday, and then she comes back down to accelerate. Are we seeing that? That is a price path that I see happening. But what might be just as likely as this, though, is that it holds that line. Even if Bitcoin goes down to the level I just showed you, I think it was 18.5. Yeah, 18.5. I think Ethereum could hold that line, because remember what I said earlier, when Bitcoin goes down 3%, Ethereum might only go down 2 or 1.5, 1.75, and Ethereum could stick that higher low as Bitcoin, because I feel fairly confident that Bitcoin's going to hit that level tonight or early tomorrow morning. But when that happens, keep an eye on this line. Ethereum could hold it, because that's why I started off with Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It's rising and it's breaking out, ready to like almost make all-time high or recent time highs. So it could easily make a higher low as Bitcoin makes a new local low. Are we smelling this? All right. So another, honestly, potentially just as probable price path to get you through the next 24 hours is it sticks that's landing and then takes out this local high, maybe comes all the way up to this area. That's 1608. And just kind of hovers somewhere in the middle for tomorrow's market open, which is this green line here. That's tomorrow's market open, 9:30 a.m. And yeah, so it would probably, if it does stick its landing, it'll probably want to take out liquidity above this wick. So I'm on the 15-minute chart. It'd want to take out liquidity above this wick here, because if it does bounce from that line, it's gonna want to go. The bots are going to want to go grab people's money and retail on exchanges. So it'll go above 1609 if it sticks that landing. So be careful. Shorting Ethereum right now into the merge with it breaking out versus Bitcoin. It can be really, really tricky. So I'm going to make this price path red and one green. I need you to be prepared for both. And if you're pissing around with your money, again, nothing on my channel for YouTube is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I want you to be prepared for these two levels, or for these two price paths to play out. All right. Now, if you're trying to be bullish, just realize I don't see Ethereum getting over this in the next 24 to 48 hours. So this, not financial advice, profit taking just around 610, 6 to 618, maybe swipe above this area to take out people with. There's probably, if you put on a heat map, that's where it's going to be. Everybody's going to be hiding their stops there. That's why I feel that I don't need to use heat maps and the liquidity bubbles, because I can already see where it is. I already know where the liquidity is, right? I can tell. I just know where people are placing their stops to a certain degree. So I just realized that's probably a pretty good profit taking area if you're trying to, because I don't think Ethereum's going to do anything fantastic. If you're trying to be long and you're bullish on Ethereum, just realize I don't think that's realistic, but I think this is realistic for your bullish case for this week. All right. And that should get you through Thursday. And if you want a more midterm time frame outlook, just realize that this yellow line is going to be hit on Ethereum most likely in September. I'm not going to give you price paths because I just covered the price paths for Bitcoin. It could be drastically different, but in the month of September, because the deal is sealed and signed but not delivered yet on Bitcoin, that the next origin line down, which the equivalent of that is this yellow line on Ethereum. It already, look, this line's been here for like over a year easily on my chart. Look where it came down to. Within 0.1%, right? Like these lines work. And that's where it got the bounce. But it's going to hit that line again this month because Bitcoin is signed sealed. And, if Bitcoin makes lower local lows, Ethereum honestly is set up to make a higher low, folks. Because this would, especially if it happened before the merge. Now, something to watch out for, though, is I'm going to wrap Ethereum up with this thought, the very important. Because this month it's signed, sealed, but not delivered that this will be hit. Just realize if Ethereum is hitting this line anywhere close to the merge date, which I think might be the 10th or the 16th, or whenever that is. If it is a buy the news or buy the rumor, sell the news, and Ethereum's down here, if the sell the news does play out, it's gonna accelerate down fast. Very fast. If those two moments happen simultaneously. If the sell the news plays out and it has already bounced off this level or hasn't gotten to this level, it's hanging out, somewhere over here around, 1560, it might not accelerate quite as fast. It would take probably 3 to 7 days to play out because you would need to go below the yellow line, use it as resistance, break the local low, and then accelerate. It would add several days. But if the merge happens as Ethereum is somewhere close to like 1466, okay, somewhere close to 1470, and the merge has happened, you need to watch out. That's not a time to go 100x short. Costas Verde, they said, don't do that. But I just need you to be prepared for that. That's the only midterm thing I want you to be aware of, because they could coincide perfectly and it would create a very, very, very aggressive sell-off. All right. And that's Ethereum. Hopefully stay safe, because you can get screwed to the upside on Ethereum if you're trying to be short. I cannot stress that enough. All right. I did not bring much water with me. Damn it. All right. Here we go. Questions. Boo boo. Could you go get me here? Go get me a bottle of water. Awesome. Yes. One good thing about having a 4-year-old sneak in my office and wanting to be in here while I'm doing this is she's gonna go water bottle run for me. All right, here we go. Questions. Elizabeth Moon, nice to see you here. Yeah, this stream hasn't been amazing because I deleted my origin line. It made me fumble around for 5 minutes. I apologize, but I'm glad to see you here. All right. Yeah. 14,000 soon. Jackie Green. I totally agree. What up, Daniel? Nice to see you. Hey, Tina, you're welcome for the TA. All right. Thanks for the GOAT comments. Well, we'll wait till 100,000 subscribers to be, before I even graciously accept those titles. All right. Hey, Chris, if you missed anything, I record the Ethereum and Bitcoin portion of this, so you can, I upload them typically within, I try to do it right after. The latest I would upload it is the next morning. So, and I think on the live streams, you can go backwards too. And then worst case, if you want to watch the part you missed before I have it uploaded, I think you can go on my channel and look at the live playlist once the stream has ended and just watch the stream. All right. Okay. I now have water. Okay. Can you go pee for me too? I gotta pee. Just go pee out there. I'll vicariously and empty my bladder. All right. Okay. Don't actually do it. Okay. All right. Okay. DCF Tim, you did talk about why the Bitcoin dominance may be so low at this point in a bear market. Any clues? Okay, I do. On Twitter, I had a really good comment, something that I had not considered before. Altcoins, or not altcoins, stable coins could be the second factor that I was not thinking of. I knew there was something. I had somebody comment on that, and I think he's definitely right that that's a huge idea. But the question is, does that put enough pieces of the puzzle on the table for it to make sense? Bitcoin dominance being so low historically, like just atrociously low for a bear market. So the two puzzle pieces, I only had one. The one I had was the Ethereum merge is not only making Ethereum, have a decent bear market rally, like, what did it do? 130% from its lows. But all the layer ones, like besides Solana and Cardano, they aren't pumping, but a lot of layer ones and particularly layer twos that ride on Ethereum or other successful layer ones, they are popping off with Ethereum, and there are large caps. So they're riding in the momentum of people buying Ethereum because of the merge news. That was one puzzle piece that I had, but that doesn't make sense that Bitcoin dominance would be that low in a bear market, like just extraordinarily low. However, the rise of stablecoin dominance, if Tether dominance goes up, Bitcoin dominance does go down. It is included in that, and that is a huge puzzle piece. So I think those two puzzle pieces together are enough for me to make sense of that chart. That is a pretty big clue. Those two things together. Ethereum merge news, bunch of large caps riding in the wake. I mean, hell, Atom is doing some nasty stuff to the upside, for example. And then, a bunch of other layer ones and layer twos. So sucking from Bitcoin dominance. And as people are selling crypto, it's not going to Bitcoin. It's going to stable coins. So every time people are selling, it's going to stable coins, not helping out Bitcoin dominance, when in the past it did. Because when people sold crypto, they heavily, pre-September 2017, you had to sell into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance was clearly in the 90s and the high 80s. Because that's every time you got rid of crypto, you bought Bitcoin. Like, that was the only way, right? But anyway, now that people can sell into it and the stablecoin dominance is just really, really high, I think that makes sense. But that doesn't necessarily make the Bitcoin dominance chart useless. It just needs to be recalibrated. And so that was the, I think that helps my recalibration process. It makes sense of it. However, it still does mean altcoins can get their asses kicked, because one of the big puzzle pieces to it was the altcoins screaming, and that it still remains as a fact. It just wasn't enough to make sense of it. So just because I'm now realizing stablecoin dominance is a big factor of it, that doesn't mean it takes off the table the two scenarios I talked about of the two options, right? From that recorded video that I put on YouTube. It's still an option. And I still think altcoins could really get their asses kicked after the merge stuff is over. Like real bad, as in 30 to 50% drops in September. That could all happen within a period of 3 days, and then it just chills down there. Like, so 50% drop doesn't mean slow and steady. I mean, it could happen fast. It could be slow and steady, but yeah, I could see Atom down 30% this month easily. And all other big layer ones that are right in Ethereum's success. All right, here we go. Tim, did you talk about Bitcoin? Yeah, so that was mash the like. I have been sitting out so long at the moment. Chris Crane says, I'm aware there isn't any rush. Correct, that you have time. However, I'm getting severe anxiety that I'll miss the bottom, especially if it's already in, as we haven't had capitulation in a while. Okay, well, I actually have something to show you. That'll calm me down. Watch. No, don't worry about missing the bottom. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because the big gainers, where you're going to see a lot of your gains, it doesn't happen necessarily at the Bitcoin bottom. You're just going to miss out on the first, a portion of the first rally of altcoins. All right, watch. So these lines out here, this is the next Bitcoin halving. This is 400. This line's 400 days before. This line is 200 days before. And the bull market typically kicks off 400 or 200 to 400 days before the halving, historically. All right, watch. To calm your anxiety, go to the weekly chart, throw on the 10 and 21 EMA, and just look at it. Hell, let's do an EMA fill, even better. Let me do an EMA fill. Okay, watch. The run doesn't happen until... So when this is flipped red, that means the bottom line is the 10. When it's green, that means the top line is the 10. Or just the yellow line is the 10 EMA. The weekly 21 is the blue one, right? So you're not going to get a big run until this flips green. Bottom or not. So look how much you would have missed out. Or on a reasonable wick here. From the bottom, yeah, 25% on Bitcoin. Okay, you're going to miss that, sure. But after it flips green, look. 94% on Bitcoin. And that's when alts will start running. Alts aren't going to start running down here. They'll probably stay mostly level from Bitcoin's 25%. Not all altcoins, but I'm telling you, you're not going to miss out much. Even if the bottom was in, who the fuck cares? The vast majority of money to be made from a midterm time frame standpoint or from a macro standpoint has yet to be made. All right, this is only one of two things. I'm going to share. Hold on. Okay. For anybody having anxiety about missing the bottom, this video is for you. I'm going to show you two specific things on, even if the bottom's in and I'm totally wrong, which I don't think the bottom's in, but if I'm totally wrong and you're following my channel, like what's the chance of you looking back and say, oh, I listened to Costas Verdes, the bottom wasn't, like we look back in the future, we're future tillions, like October 2023, we look back and say, oh, damn it, Costas Verdes. Even if I'm wrong and that happens, it's really not that big of a deal. You're not going to miss out on much if I'm totally wrong. And you've been watching me and kind of using me as guidance. Let me show you. I'm going to show you two specific things. And this could blow your mind if you haven't been following me for a while, or if you're not a part of Discord. If you're a regular on Discord, you already know what I'm going to do. And that's why we're all calm, cool, collected over there, because we don't care if the bottom's in or not. But let me show you. All right. I have on the weekly chart of Bitcoin. I have on an EMA fill using the weekly 10 EMA and the weekly 21 EMA. When it's red, the weekly 10 is below the weekly 21, right? And you're worried about catching a bottom like this, right? Or like this, okay? All right, the first thing I'm going to show you, and these are both equally as important on why it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter, especially if you're planning on making most money from alts as opposed to Bitcoin specifically. So particularly for those people, this is what it truly doesn't matter. So from a reasonable wick low that you could have caught, right? You can't, because this only happened for like 30 minutes. So reasonable bottom here. From that point, this is the bear market of the end of the bear market in 2015. From here to here, when it got up, started flipping great, is 25%, right? Where did most of the gains happen? After Bitcoin got above its weekly 10 EMA or the yellow line. So from here to there, who cares if you missed the bottom? 108% to the upside. You see that? So why does it matter if you missed that? Plus, if you're making money if you're trying to play altcoins instead of Bitcoins, Bitcoin, I said Bitcoins. I never use the S word or the S. I don't end it with S. It's like water. There's a lot of water. Now, you don't have a lot of waters. All right, unless it's a bottle of water, but that's a unit of measurement. It's different. All right, anyway, altcoins didn't do shit here. So even if 25 to here, 25% up to here, it doesn't matter. Most of your gains are yet to be had anyway, right? Next bear market. And again, this is only the first of second thing. Here you go. So the bottom here to win green candles on the weekly closed above the yellow line. How much did you really miss out on? Oh, almost the same percentage. I didn't actually know that was going to happen, but it's like the same. So 23%. What do you think altcoins did during this time? They probably kept going down. So who cares if you missed the bottom on Bitcoin, right? And on Bitcoin, after you closed above the weekly 10, 269%. That's 10 times more of a percentage. So it doesn't matter. That's only one thing. I'm going to show you another thing to show you that's like icing. It's not just icing on the cake. This is icing on the cake plus a freaking birthday candle that like explodes in your face with glitter that doesn't hurt, or unicorn tears or something awesome. All right. Watch. Okay, so that's only the first part. Oh yeah, go to current price though. Look. Do you think it matters? Look at this. So if this was the low, have you closed above? Yeah. So look, again, it's only going to be about 25%, because by the time it gets up here, the weekly 10 will be here from bottom to here. Isn't this crazy? That's only 20%. So it's almost the same number 3 times in a row. Same thing would happen, but even less of an effect. You miss out on so much less before the big move up. But what is perhaps even more important than that is this. The fact that altcoins don't bottom when Bitcoin bottoms. Ethereum probably will though, or potentially will. So Back here, you had a deep bottom. People getting anxiety, you know, for how long? Imagine yourself having anxiety for 217 days, right? But altcoins made a lower low on this one. Yeah, it was almost a year later, but who cares? They made a lower low. Watch this. Check this out. Bitcoin, when it dropped from 20K in 2017, here, let me, over here, 20K in 2017 down to here. All right. So remember this date, December of 2018. I'm going to put a vertical line, right? That's the bottom, right? Sure, altcoins had a big rally here, but where was altcoins rally? Where was altcoins bottom? Over here. Let's go to Cardano. So remember the date, or I'll actually write it on here. December 2018. This is the big kahuna reason to not care. Like literally having anxiety about missing a bottom is not well founded. March 2020. All right, those two dates. Let's go to Cardano. Wait, did it keep the lines there? Oh, hell yeah, it did. I wonder, maybe I had these lines here from like showing this to Discord or something. All right, look, same lines. What do you think happened? It made a lower low. See that? So this was the bottom on Bitcoin. Did it matter? No. Altcoins don't bottom when Bitcoin bottoms. It bottoms later. Does it have to be a whole year later or however long this was? Like this is over a year this time. So that was 490 days. And remember how much it was for the second macro low on Bitcoin in 2015? It was 220 days. So you have plenty of time. So in missing that first rally from Bitcoin's bottom, you're only going to miss a tiny bit of it because the vast majority will happen after Bitcoin closes the weekly candle over the weekly 10. And in that 25% that Bitcoin goes up to close on the weekly 10, if the bottom's already in at 17.5, altcoins are going to do jack shit. For example, Kadena, it's still making new local lows. They're going lower as Bitcoin makes that like inching up towards it. So it really doesn't matter. It matters a tiny bit if you only trade Bitcoin. Yeah, it matters a little bit. You'll miss out on a small portion of the run. But even in that worst case scenario, you only trade Bitcoin because you're a millionaire and you have to have, multimillionaire and you have to have the liquidity in order to trade. You're still missing out on a fraction, literally 1/5 to 1/10 of the rally in general. So who the hell cares, right? If I can add a third thing on, just as a rule of thumb for you forever, from an emotional standpoint, right? Because making money for crypto, the charts aren't the hard part. It's your emotions. You are the hard part. You are your worst enemy, right? It's your emotions. It's the emotional control. So to address that part of it, stop trying to even think it's possible to catch bottoms. Just accept it's not. That's it. Yeah, I have, publicly published charts on TradingView before I even did YouTube when I was still fairly new to TA, a year in or so, 8 months in, where I did nail the bottom on Bitcoin and Litecoin, or particularly Litecoin. On my bottom range for the timing, it was right, but for Bitcoin, my range overlapped with what actually happened. But I was actually guessing 2,800 to like 3,400. That's where all my buy orders were. So my range was slightly down lower, but it overlapped. But yeah, I did nail the bottom last time, and it did help. It was nice, but just accept that just accept that it's not possible. Just accept it. You can't sell tops, right? Which technically I did for BPro on its top. I've sold one. That was the only, that's the only top I've ever really nailed. I've done one ever. I sold close to the top on MTV. Pretty close. On BPro, I did nail it, but one. Ever. Nailed it. So if you get one in a decade, feel great. So that's your calibration. Stop, just realize it's impossible. It's not totally impossible, but it's a 1% chance out of 100 that you get it. Just accept it. And if you accept it, then worrying about the bottom goes away because I'm not going to get it anyway. So who cares? It's not possible. And so from an emotional standpoint, just accept it. You're not going to hit a bottom. And if you do, then you need to buy a couple of nice things, take some money out of crypto, but just don't expect it to happen. All right. Those are my 3 thoughts for anybody who's worried about the bottom being in. All right. Okay. Time to drink some water. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at Flux here in a minute. So for anybody new to the live chats, I only have time. I don't even have time to get through them all because I go to my analyses are like too deep for this, but for a 1.5 hour live chat. But on the live chats, people with an emblem next to their name, that's because they're part of the YouTube tiers. I have enough people in the YouTube tiers asking questions that I can't get to your questions if you're not part of it. So I'm not being rude and skipping over questions being rude. I am doing it purposely, but there's a reason for it. So just a heads up. And you can see the people's emblems and I'm skipping to them. All right. So I don't want to do it to be rude though. I'm doing it methodically and for a good reason. All right, here we go. Show appreciate. Okay. Bottom Flux. I could have sworn somebody asked about BNB Flux. Did I miss one? Nope. Okay. Let's do Flux. Yeah. I've had a couple people ask me about that, on Twitter and YouTube. So why can't I do my ABCs right now? Do I have it way down here? Oh, I do. Okay. All right. All right. I've got a lot of questions about Flux, both live streams, YouTube comments, and Twitter. So let's dive into it. Okay. I'm starting on the weekly chart with an EMA fill. Oh, wow. This is not what I would have expected. This is actually, well, fucking A. Wow. Honestly, I'm going to add this to the strong candidates that this might go opposite of Bitcoin as Bitcoin keeps going down. This is your bull market cross right here on Bitcoin. There is a strong chance that this was the bottom for Flux, this bear market. And in that statement, I need you to bake in that this box, I'm defining the bottom as this. So technically, from the bottom of what it is this year, it could go down 16% more in that. But within this box, I think that there's a strong chance this entire rest of the bear market, this box is as low as it goes. You just had the weekly cross, the bullish macro cross to the upside. This is not even Ethereum. I don't even think Ethereum got close to having that cross. And Ethereum just went up 130%. Yeah, look at there. Look at this. All right, let me take off. Let's see here. There it is. I wonder why it wouldn't go away. So look, Ethereum didn't even get close to getting that cross. Not even close. It like takeoff price, it barely put a dent in it. You see that? Imagine like this is a car door and you're mad and you punch it. Don't try that at home. It barely made a dent. Right? And Flux is over here kicking some, honestly, that's a big deal. I did not know this was happening on Flux. This is probably something that you need, that, you know, if you're not familiar with Flux, which I'm in that boat of people, you might want to at least know what it is. This is a strong candidate that this could be a chain link of 2023, where the market is going down slowly, or through 2022, 2023. This could keep going up and make all-time highs. That doesn't seal the deal. Fake outs on this, like on Bitcoin, it did happen in 2015. It crossed once, fake out, redoubled the low 250 days later, which we discovered, then went up. It is possible that happens, but I still think 32.63, there's a damn I think it's over 50% chance that the price of Flux will not go below there this entire bear market. because that cross could fake out, but that's as low as. And honestly, if I see Flux out at 32 cents or 33 cents, I think I'm going to be buying it. Because it's doing this means Flux could be a first mover. Like once Bitcoin bottoms, close a couple weeks above the weekly 10 EMA to in prep for the bull run, this is going to move fast. Because there are buyers in a bear market for this. So what do you think is going to happen when Bitcoin starts going up, like macro sense? It's going to go up faster, and it's going to go up faster than almost anything else. Because there are already buyers interested in the bear market. Do you see Solana making this stuff happen? Hell, it's not even happened for Ethereum. I just showed you that, right? And Solana's been a dog compared to Ethereum. This is going to go up before Solana does in the bull market. As of now, unless something crazy changes. But as of now, this will be a first mover before even Solana. That could change, but as of now, that is a probable statement. This is impressive. I don't think I want to do short-term price analysis for this. Because if I guess to the upside, it could. I don't think I want to do short-term stuff on this. But if I could take a smack at it, a stab. I said smack. Take a stab at it. God dang. I would say it's safe as long as it is above. Like, I would not expect it to come down to this box down here at 41 cents. I think it's healthy even if it comes to this area here. I would still think it has a good chance of making higher local highs after that. It could just consolidate in this area. From a midterm time frame standpoint, I'm not going to go over what's going to happen today, tomorrow, but over the month of September, if it can hold 81 cents, it can easily make new local highs in October. Now, if it does break 81 cents, well, then, you're probably on your way to do, to hit this box later in the year or early 2023. But as long as 81's held, I think it could keep making higher local highs. Once 82 is broken, makes a low, use it as resistance. Here, let me show you. Let me draw it out. I don't deal with closures anymore on breakouts because traditional finance they use it to set you up. It's all about the structure on even 5-minute candles. As it breaks 81, it'll do it with some type of acceleration, right? It'll make a local low. Then it'll mosey up and get rejected or do a failure pattern at this line. But at the exact moment, you don't know if it's going to keep going up or not. It's when it finally comes back down and takes out the first, I'll zoom in, the first low. So let's zoom way in here. It's when it takes out that first low it made from coming below after getting rejected. That's when it accelerates. It's not a daily closure, nothing. Like closures and stuff, honestly, are just there to fake you out. It's to trick people. Yeah, it's literally it's just used to trap people, in my opinion. So it's all about the short-term time frame structure. And you can use this method on the 1 hour, the 5-minute. Obviously, the higher the candle, you use up to an hourly is probably better. So from 5 minutes to 1 hour, taking out the low that it makes below here, that's when it'll start accelerating down to that box. But if 82 cents is held, I can honestly, it would not be out of the question that this high is taken out over the course of, the rest of 2022. So 82 is a big number to watch out for because it can make a big difference in this bear market for this coin. Yeah, this is strong. I'm kind of sold at this point. It just had a macro bullish cross in a bear market. That's a big ass deal. I don't know if I'm communicating clearly, like how big of a deal that is. And I don't own any of this. I don't even know what Flux does. So I'm not shilling this stuff. Like in this charts, that's impressive. And you need to pay attention at least to the point of, I know what Flux does. I strongly recommend that. Because I sure as hell will. That's something else. All right. Yeah. Flux. I think I'm going to learn about it for sure. I won't chill it on my channel, but that's something else. All right. Yeah. I'm done with Flux. All right. Here we go. Wow. I just hope most of you appreciate how big of a deal that cross is. It's a big ass deal. I just said Fluxbot. I have to revamp it. I don't think it's going to hit this 17 cents stuff down here anymore. I think that's almost out of the question at this point. Or it's unlikely. Yeah, I think 33 cents. If you can get Flux at 33 cents, I think you're going to look back in a year and a half from there and look like a genius. Even if it goes down 20% from there, I don't think it's going to matter. Doesn't matter if that's low. If you can get around 33 cents, not financial. This is Pokemon Flux only. Pokemon Flux only. I'm talking about Pokemon cards. That would be a steal. All right. Or that would set you up for 18 months in the future. That's a good way to put it. All right. Hot damn. Okay, Nate, let me make sure I didn't skip any community questions. I don't think I did. Sitting on so long, Flux bottom. Okay, Nate Daniel. Hey, Kostas, do you have a bottom target for BNB? Okay, so that is the one I was talking about. All right, so community member is asking during the live tryout. Oop. BNB bear market bottom target, potentially going as late as, let's say, February or deeper into the 2023, February 2023 and later. How low can BNB go during this bear market? Where I'm going to start off with this is, let's look at BNB versus Bitcoin, because it's in a very, very special scenario that it's gaining on Bitcoin in a bear market, which means that it doesn't necessarily mean that the bottom's already in for BNB. It does make it an okay candidate for that to happen. Even if Bitcoin goes to 14K, it's possible that the low that BNB has put in is the low. It's not likely. However, it does mean that the targets probably aren't that deep. So let's say Bitcoin crashes all the way down to $9,600. BNB would probably could potentially gain even more on Bitcoin. So we're going to look at that first just to get the context, and then we'll look at BNB versus the US dollar to try to put some, pins in it, exact price levels and roughly on the timing axis, on the time axis where that would be. So let's dive into it. Okay, I said BNB versus Bitcoin first. All right, this is honestly even more bullish than Ethereum. Ethereum versus Bitcoin is bullish as hell. And honestly, Ethereum's chart, this is BNB versus, look at this shit. This is massive. This is a big deal. I mean, almost as big as a deal as, what I just covered in the live stream Flux, having the weekly bullish cross, the macro bull market signal cross for that altcoin. This is a big deal. Consolidated on new highs for 500 days, 450 days, and then breaking out deep in a bear market. So this is not going to get destroyed in a bear market. This is not going to make 98%. This is not going to go 98% down like Cardano did. Probably won't even go 94% down like Ethereum did last time. Right? So sometimes it's easy just to take a measuring stick and from wick high, most altcoins will go down 95%. This is not one of them. This is not going to do it. Unless something drastically changes on this chart, which it does. Let's zoom in. Does it look like something quickly is going to drastically change? No. This is 500 days consolidating at the top. Right? All right. So with that thought, let's go to BNB versus the dollar. And let's just measure down, knowing that Ethereum went down 94% last bear market. This is going to go down a lot less. And then we're going to see if it matches up with some horizontals. And then we'll try to include the time axis and see what we get with all this context in. All right, ready? So let's take off these guys. And let's first do a measuring stick. Just simple measurement. From wick high. Let's do down less. So Ethereum went down 94%. So let's just do 94. It could do it. All right. 94%. Let's put a pin in that. Right there. Okay. $41.90. But because it's breaking out versus Bitcoin, it's probably going to be a lot less. So let's do one at 90. That's $68.30. And honestly, I think we need to do one. This might only go down 80%, folks. This might be my favorite target for BNB. Okay, now what we're going to do, because we have the context, the macro context, it's breaking out versus Bitcoin. This is not going down 95% unless like something crazy happens, right? Something drastic has to change. And we've measured out. Now we're going to, whichever, I think that's left for you. We're going to look left, and we're going to look at, does one of these have, or multiple of these have structure? Because bottoms always happen where there's structure left. Every time. Price of oil, price of black market testicles, doesn't matter. Look left, there's structure where things bottom. Bitcoin, everything, right? There are probably a handful of exceptions, but whatever. Like the price of tulips. From when was that in Europe? Like the 1600s, 1640s or something? There probably was no structure there because it probably just went back down to zero. The tulip mania. All right. So my favorite one, I can already see structure. Let's zoom way in. This one is 80% or 82 to 80% down. And because we know how far things go down in bear markets, but this one's going to be a lot less because it's so strong, 83 to 80%. That makes a box here where exactly at this structure. Bottoms happen at structure. So these right now, from a horizontal standpoint, these are by far my favorite targets. By far. Is there any much structure here at the, what was it? Was this 90% down? There's not much there. So I don't like that one as much. How far down was that? Hold on. Maybe that was 85. Nope, that was 90. I don't like that one as much. If it goes down as much as Ethereum, this makes a lot more sense because you're running into structure here. Structure there. Boom, boom. So about 90. So if it goes down only as much as Ethereum did last bear market, it's going to hit 41.90. However, it's about 40. Let's put it at $42 even. So I have 3 strong candidates for an ultimate bear market price target for BNB. My favorite, my number one, most likely in my opinion, is the range between 119 to 137. The second most probable is around $42. And that could happen if, the Nasdaq really starts melting. fuck. You couldn't hear me. Whatever. Veracity's going to hit that line. That's it. And this is what's behind me. Whatever happens on Veracity after that line is hit, it's either going to be one of these two or something in between. Most likely, because it's following bear market patterns, it's more likely going to be the red one. Let me make this red. I forgot to hit the button on my recording software again after I restarted my computer. Sorry. There you go. But this line's going to be hit, folks. All right. Yeah. No sound. I got it. This is the second time. Maybe the third sound. Yeah, I got it. No sound. All right, whatever. Yeah, that's. All right, let me try it again. I'm gonna record Veracity again. All right, let's do it. That was emotional too, and I was. All right, Veracity. Okay, so on Veracity, you need 3 things to happen before any of this news on VeraViews and a new manager and all that stuff. You need 3 things to happen before you can even, halfway assume that that's going to take effect on price. You have to see 3 things happen. Because as of now, there are very few things happening in crypto where you can see something bullish in the charts. I covered one coin during the stream that has that, Flux. That's the only thing I'm seeing that is that during the stream that's bullish in a bear market. So Veracity, this is not FUD. This is just following normal stuff, right? You need 3 things to happen, but the chance of all 3 of these happening is kind of low, but at least wait for these 3 things before you're trying to be bullish off of news. Just trust me. Watch. First off, I've talked about this line being hit, this origin line, because this origin line up here it was broken, used as resistance. You have to hit this line. That's the rules of price. And I told you back here, because it used it as resistance, the news is not going to invalidate that. It needs to be hit. So has it been hit? No. So first thing that needs to happen before you can be bullish on whatever news that is happening with Veracity, VeraViews, new manager, whatever, that has to be hit. It's an ascending line. So if it hits a little later, hell, it could go sideways and hit it, right? It could be that this wick, it doesn't go below there. It just goes sideways, hits it on September 13th. And that is the low, but this line has to be hit. That's the first thing. The second thing that needs to happen is you need a 4-hour uptrend after that line is hit. That's it. That's the second thing. If you don't see a 4-hour uptrend, right, this whole time, there was no 4-hour uptrend. This is 11 days. It made a lower low, a higher high. Higher low. Well, no, this wasn't a higher high. On a closure basis, it was. But there was no 4-hour uptrend. Therefore, you're not going up. You have to hit this line, get in a 4-hour uptrend. Higher highs and higher lows. And then the third thing is you need to use this top zone as support, which I labeled it right there. After 00481 is used as support, which will only happen after the first 2 happen. It's not going to happen until then. So that's why it's the third and final thing. If you see that happen, then potentially buyers will come in with more money than what you and me have to buy it up. But until that point, the news isn't going to, it's not going to happen. It's not going to affect price right now. It's just falling like everything else is. Right? I know there's a lot of bullish folks out there on it with all this news and, about it, but you need to see those 3 things first. And the probability of me being incorrect is very low. I'm simply letting you know what's most probable. Right? That's it. I'm trying to help you out. I know it's not what you want to hear, Veracity fans, but it could happen. But don't get excited about it until all 3 happen. Okay? What's more realistic is that it hits this line, ends up going below it, and hitting the next one down. This is a bear market. This is not doing anything different than anything else. Bitcoin is going to hit the next origin line down. Ethereum is going to hit the next origin line down. Is this outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum? No, it's not. It's just moving with them. Hell, it's moving with Bitcoin because Ethereum's more bullish than this. So it's way more probable that the next line down is hit than it is that those 3 cases that I just showed you. It's more likely that 00315 area, this line in general, is hit. More probable than the 3 scenarios I just showed you would happen. I'm telling you. But the time that, hey, the Vera views and all the news and stuff might avoid this being it, and you're going to know that once you see those three things happen that I just showed you. Does that make sense? But as of now, this is more probable until those three things happen. It's that simple. This origin line is more probable until all three things happen. And that's how you can stay cool with Veracity Price. Okay, my wife is coming here twice. I got to go. And my computer probably crashed anyway. All right, so I will buy, tonight I'm buying some memory. I apologize for the, 20-second delay, no sound for what, how long did my dumbass talk with no sound? 5 minutes? So I'm out of here Thursday. I'll make sure I have sound the whole time. We'll see you Thursday, same time, same place, and I'll try not to fumble around in the live stream. I still kind of suck at doing live